Hello, thank you for joining me on today's episode of the Inspired Woman Show. I am your girl, Dr. Chinwe Okudo, a mother, a wife, a healthcare provider, a transformational life purpose coach. I'm glad you're able to join me on today's show, and today we're going to be sharing on an important topic, which is overcoming those limiting beliefs. You are not a victim. A lot of times in life, we are not able to achieve a whole lot of things because of our own limiting beliefs about ourselves, about what we can achieve, or maybe because of what somebody else told us about ourselves. That was one of the reasons why I wrote my book, Celebrate Your Uniqueness. Lady, you are good enough. A lot of the things that I talk about are centered around that book because it has to do with self-esteem, and it has to do with helping to boost your image and boost your confidence about yourself and the greatness within you, because that's one of the biggest challenge that we have in life that makes us not to be able to venture into what God has in stock for us, because we are limited in our beliefs based on life experiences or circumstances that we may find ourselves in, or maybe some things that somebody else have told us about ourselves. Some of us have been told that we're not good enough, or that we cannot do this because it has never been done before. No one ever does that. That's one of the limiting beliefs. No one has done that before. I mean, who's gonna listen to that? Who's gonna watch that, or something like that? But I'm here to help you with those limiting beliefs. I'm gonna try to make this video short, so I'm not gonna go into all the limiting beliefs. We're gonna touch on maybe 3 of them, and if you want to learn more, you can always reach out to me, sign up for a free session with me, or also get my book as soon as it's released. It will be released in a few weeks officially for purchase. So I just want you to understand that when God gives you a vision, like I always say, that we are all divine creatures here on a heroic assignment. I like how the famous author Wayne Dyer says it. He explains it well about us being a heroic creatures of God, and here on a divine assignment. God's assignment upon your life can only be fulfilled by you and you alone. I can only fulfill my own assignment myself. No one else can fulfill my assignment but me, and no one else can fulfill your own assignment but you. So sometimes God tells us certain things that he wants us to do, and when we share it with people, they might not understand it, and they try to stop us or try to tell us, discourage us from doing that. But guess what? That vision is given to you and you alone, and is not given to other people. It takes one person that understands the vision to help other people along the way to understand that vision. But some people are just not going to understand it because to them it doesn't make sense what you're saying. But you and the one that has sent you here on that heroic assignment understand what you're sent here for. So follow God's leading for your life. And the things, like I said, the things that we go through in life are all in preparation for that divine assignment for our lives. Our life's experiences and journey is a PhD on its own, preparing us for that divine assignment and mandate upon our lives that only us can be able to deliver the way that we are meant to deliver it. No one else can deliver like you can deliver, because no one else is called with your own calling. We are all called with different callings and different assignments upon our lives. So don't let anybody else tell you what you can do and what you can't do, and don't limit your own self by believing that you cannot do certain things because you believe that you're not good enough. That's one of the limiting beliefs that I see all the time. A lot of people tell you, well, I'm not good enough. Says who? That's why the subtitle of my book, Celebrate Your Uniqueness, is Lady, You Are Good Enough. Because this is one thing that I encounter almost every time from my young female clients as a mental health provider. I hear a lot of them tell me, well, I'm with him because no one else would want me or would want to be with me. So I can't go anywhere. I have to stay with him. And it baffles me when I hear that, because God's word clearly tells us that we are made in God's image. That means we are good enough. Like I always say all the time, we are good enough. We are made in God's image, and everything God made is good. So there's no way somebody else can tell you you're not good enough, because God made you in his own image and you are beautiful. You are good enough. So you cannot listen to what somebody else has to say. And another thing I want us to understand is that sometimes people displace their own negativities on other people to make them feel good about themselves. And I want you to understand that it's not about you, it's about them. They are the ones that need the help. So understand that they need help and feel sorry for them, because they do need help. You are not the one that have a problem. You look yourself in the mirror, appreciate who you see in the mirror, appreciate who God has made you to be, because God made you enough to accomplish that assignment upon your life. You are good enough for that particular assignment God has given you to accomplish. The most important thing is to be able to realize, what is my purpose in life? What am I here for? What am I sent here to do? When you understand what your purpose is in life, it makes it easier for you to begin to accept yourself for whom you are and begin to appreciate the process you find yourself in, because it will make it clearer for you to understand that whatever you are facing or whatever situation that you might find yourself is all in line with that purpose. If you can discover what that purpose is, then you can be able to dive in and begin to appreciate the process and embrace that process and begin to learn the things you need to learn from it and be able to make good out of it. So I just want to encourage you tonight that you are beautiful. You are good enough. You should not allow any limiting beliefs of not being good enough to hold you back into becoming that great lady or man that God has made you to be, because you're good enough. You are good enough. You are beautiful enough. You are made enough to fulfill that God's divine mandate upon your life. So do not allow any limiting beliefs hold you back. Okay. So another limiting belief that I hear all the time, especially from my younger clients, is I'm not that smart. Last week or so, I was talking with one of my young, sweet clients, and she's in the university taking a couple of courses, and I'm trying to find out how she's doing in school and how the courses are coming along. And she's like, oh, it's so hard. I'm struggling. I can't do this. I started trying to encourage her and tell her, about myself, how for like straight 11 years I was in school. And guess what? In those 11 years, I was constantly having babies and also working full-time, and still was able to pull 4.0 GPAs. And she goes, well, you're smart. I'm not that smart. I'm like, no. Hold that thought right there. You are smart as well, because guess what? As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. If you want to believe that you're not smart, then the enemy or the universe will begin to bring things in your way that will make you feel more that you're not smart. But if you believe that you're smart, that you're unstoppable, the universe will begin to align for you and begin to help you to accomplish things that you never imagined that you can accomplish. Okay. So I want you to understand who lives inside of you. I don't know, it's for some of us that saw the posting that I put out earlier this week. It says you are limitless. Actually starts with you are meant for greatness. You are limitless because a limitless God lives inside of you. Let me say that again. You are meant for greatness, and you are limitless because a limitless God lives inside of you. If you can understand that fact, that the God in you is limitless, there's no power that can limit God. That's the same power that dwells inside of you. And that means that anything you set your mind to accomplish, it's within your reach. You just got to believe it, because what you believe you can achieve. It's simple. It might sound complicated sometimes because we've positioned our minds to believe in those limiting beliefs. So we cannot really see ourselves the way God sees us. But I don't believe in limitations, and so should you not, because a limitless God lives inside of you. What is that you want to achieve? What is that is a goal that you set that you're scared of achieving because you feel you're not smart enough to accomplish that goal. I'm here to challenge those negative beliefs. I'm here to tell you that there's a limitless God that lives inside of you. So there's nothing you set your mind to do that you cannot do, because God is God of all impossibilities. He says, with God, all things are possible. He says all things. He didn't say some things. He says all things are possible with God. So that means if you trust and believe that with God on your side, that all things are possible. Like I always share, if you know who walks with you in this journey, then you have no reason to be afraid or to be scared that things and that you are not smart enough to accomplish the things that you've set your mind to accomplish. There's no stopping you. Only you can stop you. I like the word that I saw something, a posting that says, get out of your own way. I'm here to challenge you tonight to get out of your own way and start believing what God believes about you. You are smart because the smartest God lives inside of you. You are that brilliant because a brilliant God made you. So if you know who made you and believe in that one that made you, the power that made the universe, the world and everything within it, by just a contemplation, it became. It says, let there be, and there was. That's the power that dwells inside of you. So if you believe that power that dwells in you, that there's no stopping you, there's no cause that you cannot accomplish. Like I remembered when I went into the nursing program, I always was fearful for maths because back home in Africa, the way they taught maths made it feel so scary. So I wasn't paying any mind to it, and I became scared of that. But when I came in here and knew that my purpose is tied to the nursing career, I had to ask God to help me to accomplish it. You know, I didn't believe I could know it. But that same math that was my biggest challenge became my biggest strength. Even in nursing school, I remember when we did pharmacology, which has to do with dosage calculation and drugs and all that. That was one of the courses that I feared so much because I didn't think I could make it. But after a while, I started to believe that God is able to teach me all things. And I clearly asked him to teach me. Guess what? He taught me. And do you know that when we did the pharmacology, even though the professor that was teaching it was after me, trying to make me fail, that's another story on its own. But do you know what? In my class, I became the only one to pass pharmacology in my whole class. And the rest of the class were given 2 weeks to redo the class, and I had to go home for 2 weeks and rest while other people caught up. That was the same course that I was so fearful about. What changed? My belief changed. I started believing what God believes about me, that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And he showed up and helped me to do that thing that I was so fearful about, that I could never achieve, that I could not do, because I changed my mindset. I began to believe what God believes about me, and he showed up and proved himself for me. So I just want you to erase that in your thought that you're not smart enough. Erase that thought that you cannot do what you want to do, because God is in you and there's no limiting God. You are limitless. Okay, so another final, I should say the final point I'm gonna point on tonight, because I don't want this video to be too long, is fear. One of the limiting beliefs, most common limiting belief, is fear of failure. That's a fear. What if I fail? What if it doesn't work out? That's why most people don't get to do the things that they want to do. Maybe it's a business that you're trying to set up. Most people are scared of failing. What if the business fails? What if it doesn't work out like I planned it? Oh well. What if it works out? How about that? What if it works out? I want you to start erasing those fear of failure. But sometimes we fear failure, but I just want to tell you that there's nothing as failure. There's nothing like failure, because everything we do in life produces a result. So in our head, we might consider that as a failure, but it's not really a failure. It's just a result. And what makes the difference is what you decide to do with the result that you get from that experience. We go through life experiences and it all creates a result. So whatever you choose to make out of that result, it's how far you can go. So I also want us to remember that those things that we consider as life failures, that a whole lot of great things are bedded out of the so-called life failures. Like I always share about myself, when I came into this world, my arrival was considered as one of those life failures, in quote. But guess what? Look at me today. Look at me today. So sometimes the things that we go through that we consider a failure, if we can look beyond that experience and see the future and see what God sees about that particular situation, then we understand that it's not really a failure, that is just a stepping stone to prepare us for where God is taking us to. We had to pass through that experience, we had to pass through those so-called failures to get to what God is calling us to do. You see, like during my own life ordeal, my marriage failure and my bed and everything, it's all part of the things that in the normal human eyes is considered as a failure. But like I said, through all those series of challenges that are assumed to be failures, great things have been birthed. Through the same journey, I've been able to, by the inspiration of God, because it's not about me, it's about what God wants to do. It inspired to become and excel has been established, and I can tell you that lives are already being transformed through inspired to become and excel. People are discovering their purpose through inspired to become and excel. People are beginning to do great things. I have one of my clients that I'm working with now. She's actually planning to write a book, and her life is beginning to align. We barely got started, but a lot of great things are already being birthed, and that's because of what so-called failures that I've been through. That's why this is happening. Another great thing that has happened is this: a foundation has been born as well through the so-called life failure. The Inspired Woman Fatherless Girls Foundation has officially been registered in the state of Maryland as of the 1st of October and is currently being registered in Nigeria. This foundation is going to help young girls that has young daughters out of wedlock that are abandoned by their fathers, and also indigent young girls with illegitimate pregnancy. This foundation is gonna help those young girls to be able to raise their young daughters, and also to help the young girls with the so-called illegitimate pregnancy to be able to carry their pregnancy safely and be able to deliver their babies safely as well. This foundation will provide them with necessary support that they need to carry that baby well and deliver the baby safely, and provide them with all the support they need to be able to be stable and to raise their child safely. So this foundation also will teach young girls on how to stay safe sex practices, and also will teach them against abortion. Because guess what? If I was aborted, the great things that are happening today would not have happened. So this foundation is gonna serve to talk and reach out to those girls to help them to make better decisions, because no one deserves to be aborted. No child is a mistake. So this is where I'm going to leave you for tonight. Just know that you are unstoppable. You are limitless, because a limitless God lives inside of you. There's so many limiting beliefs, but this is where I'm going to leave it tonight. Look out for my book, Celebrate Your Uniqueness. Lady, you are good enough. Self-esteem, your secret to greatness. Practical steps to rebuilding your self-esteem. I have so many other courses that are cooking that will be coming out. The whole idea is to help you rediscover your purpose, become who God wants you to be, and reach out and be the great woman or young girl that God has called you to be. That is the goal. And I know that greatness awaits you if you align yourself to your purpose. I thank you for joining me tonight. I invite you to share this with someone else, because you never know who is going to bless. Remember to subscribe to my channel and share the word and bless someone else. If this blessed you, share it with someone else, and remember to subscribe and invite other people to subscribe. If you want to work with me, the link is gonna be below. You can always send me an email or go to my website, Inspired to Become .com, and you can go on the link work with me, or you can simply send me an email to info@inspiredtobecome.com, and I look forward to speaking with you, and make it a great night. Take care. Bye.